Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going deep on the Four Agreements.
Yeah, by Don Miguel Ruiz.
This book is such a fascinating look at, well, I guess you could say personal freedom
It is.
and finding that for yourself, and it draws on all this ancient Toltec wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that really stuck with me is this idea that
Ah.
humans are kind of like domesticated animals.
Oh, it's such a striking image, right? Like when you first read it, it's like, whoa, hold on.
It makes you stop and think.
But when you think about it, it really makes sense in a way
It does.
because we're really trained, like from childhood,
Right.
to follow these rules and beliefs, and we don't even question them half the time.
Yeah, like we've been conditioned to accept them.
Right, exactly. And it's almost like, you know how they train a dog
Yeah.
with rewards and punishments?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like that with humans, you know?
Interesting.
We internalize these beliefs, even if they're not good for us.
Yeah, and you don't even realize it.
Right. You just kind of take them on as your own.
And they become part of who you are.
Exactly.
So true. Think about it. All those shoulds and shouldn'ts we all carry around.
Ugh, tell me about it.
Like, I should always please everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Or I shouldn't ever take a risk. Or,
It's like we're constantly second-guessing ourselves.
and where do those come from?
It's like a mix of things.
Yeah.
Your family, the culture you grew up in, just observing the world around you.
And it all gets internalized.
And it's crazy because Ruiz actually says 95%
95%.
of the beliefs we hold are actually lies.
What?
Isn't that wild?
That's a huge number.
It is. And he says these lies, these limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
they're what keep us trapped in suffering.
Okay, so we're all carrying around these lies, basically.
Pretty much.
Beliefs that don't actually serve us, that we've been domesticated to believe.
Yeah, and the good news is
It's good news.
he gives us tools to break free.
Okay, so what's the first step to get out of this?
Well, he calls them agreements, and the first one is be impeccable with your word.
I love that one.
It's so powerful.
It really makes you think about the power of language, right?
It does.
Like how much weight our words actually carry.
It's huge.
Like in the beginning was the word.
Right. Words are forces. They shape our reality.
Absolutely.
It's not just about, being perfect or
Yeah.
never saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's more about being mindful.
Of how your words affect yourself and others.
Exactly.
So how do we become impeccable with our words then?
Well, think about it. What kind of energy are you putting out there?
Okay.
Through your words, are you building people up
Right.
or tearing them down?
Interesting.
Are you spreading gossip?
Oh, like a virus.
Like a virus, yeah. Or are you speaking your truth with love and intention? It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't realize the impact our words have
Right.
until it's too late.
There's actually the story in the book that really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
About a mom, and I think this happens a lot. I don't know if you've seen this.
I'm sure I have.
She says something to her daughter, just a careless remark,
Oh.
but it ends up having a huge impact on the daughter's life.
Oh, God.
I think it was something about her singing.
Oh, the one where the mom tells her daughter she has an ugly voice.
Yes. And the daughter actually had a beautiful voice.
It's heartbreaking.
But she internalizes that comment and stops singing altogether.
Wow. And it's just because of one careless remark?
Exactly. It really shows you how powerful words can be.
Especially when you're talking to children.
You're so impressionable.
But imagine if that mom had been impeccable with her words.
Yeah.
If she had encouraged her daughter's passion.
What a difference.
It could have changed her whole life.
Totally. And that's what I love about this agreement.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we have the power to choose our words
We do.
and to use them to create beauty, love, even...
Heaven on earth.
It's a beautiful way to think about it. So you've started being impeccable with your words.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next step to finding this freedom?
Well, agreement number 2 is don't take anything personally.
Oh, that one's tough.
It is tough.
I'll be honest, I struggle with this one.
Yeah, me too.
It's so easy to get caught up in what other people think.
It really is.
But I think the book offers a really interesting perspective on this.
It does.
It's like everyone is living in their own little dream, right?
Their own reality.
Their own reality, yeah, shaped by their own experiences and beliefs.
It's like they're wearing these glasses
Yeah.
that color everything they see.
They're not even aware of it.
Most of the time, no.
So what they say and do is more a reflection of their internal world
Yeah.
than a comment on our worth.
Exactly.
So even when someone is like directly criticizing you,
Yeah.
it's not really about you.
Nope. Not really.
That's hard to wrap your head around.
I know it's a mind shift.
But think about it this way. You don't control what others do,
Nope.
only how you react to it.
That's the key.
So give me an example.
Okay, imagine someone cuts you off in traffic.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Now, in that moment, it might feel personal.
Right, like they're doing it to me on purpose.
But in reality,
Yeah.
they're probably just rushing to get somewhere.
Lost in their own world.
Exactly. Their own little dream.
Interesting.
So by not taking it personally, you're choosing not to let their actions.
Dictate how you feel.
Exactly. You're in control of your own emotions.
How freeing would that be?
Talk about a weight lifted off your shoulders.
It's like building up an immunity to negativity.
Right. Nothing can touch you.
But the book takes it even further, right?
It does.
It uses a pretty extreme example.
Oh, yeah, the one about being shot.
Yes,
It's a bit jarring,
it is.
but Ruiz argues that even in that situation,
Yeah.
the person pulling the trigger is acting from their own reality.
It's not about you.
Exactly. It doesn't diminish your worth as a human being.
So no matter what, it's not about me. I can choose to focus on my response instead of getting caught up in their actions.
And that's a powerful choice.
This is starting to make sense.
It is a bit of a mind bend.
But what about when someone is being deliberately hurtful?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like it feels very personal.
It does.
So how do you apply this agreement then?
It's important to remember that not taking things personally doesn't mean you have to accept abuse.
Yeah.
You always have the right to set boundaries
Of course.
and protect yourself.
Yeah.
But even in those situations, recognizing that their behavior is coming from their own wounds
Oh, interesting.
can help you detach.
Detach from the emotional sting of it.
Exactly.
So I can acknowledge the hurt without internalizing it as a reflection of my own worth.
You got it. It's a subtle shift,
A big shift.
but it makes a world of difference.
It's like reclaiming your power.
Absolutely.
And it can have a huge impact on your relationship.
It totally can.
Imagine experiencing less anger, jealousy, resentment.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be amazing.
Think about that freedom.
It's like stepping out of the drama into this place of peace and clarity.
Right. You're not caught up in that emotional whirlwind anymore.
Okay, so we've talked about being impeccable with our words,
Yeah.
not taking things personally.
2 down, 2 to go.
What's agreement number 3?
It's don't make assumptions.
Oh, I'm guilty of that one.
Aren't we all?
All the time.
It's so easy to do.
I've gotten myself into some sticky situations
Yeah.
by assuming I knew what someone else was thinking.
It's so tempting to fill in the blanks
It is.
when we don't have all the information.
Why do we do that?
We crave certainty.
Oh.
Our minds want to explain the unknown.
So we make up stories.
And those stories are often based on our own fears and insecurities.
Interesting.
Like we project our own stuff onto other people
Oh, yeah. It's like we're creating a whole movie in our heads
with our own script.
instead of actually paying attention to what's happening.
It's like we're living in our own little world.
Ruiz actually talks about this in the context of relationships, right?
He does. Unspoken expectations.
Oh, all the time.
It's like we assume our partner should just know what we want,
Without saying anything.
and then we get upset when they don't.
It's so common.
But the truth is,
Yeah.
clear communication is key.
Even in the closest relationships.
Absolutely.
So instead of making assumptions
Mm.
and getting caught up in all that mental drama,
Yeah,
we should just ask.
exactly. It sounds simple, but it's harder than you think.
I can imagine.
Because that habit of assuming, it's deeply ingrained,
Right.
but it's worth breaking.
And it actually ties back to the first agreement.
How so?
By being impeccable with our words,
Right.
communicating clearly and directly, we can avoid so many misunderstandings
And create stronger connections.
with the people we care about.
It's all about quieting the me-tote.
The what?
The me-tote.
What's that?
It's like this chaotic chatter in our minds
Oh, yeah.
that distorts our perception.
It's like that constant mental noise
Yeah,
that keeps us from seeing things clearly.
exactly.
So by questioning our assumptions and communicating directly,
You quiet the me-tote.
and we can create more peace in our relationships.
That's the goal.
Okay, so we've covered
Being impeccable with our words.
taking things personally.
And not making assumptions.
Agreement number 4.
This one brings it all together.
Okay.
Always do your best.
That sounds simple enough.
It does.
But what does it actually mean?
Well, a lot of people might think it means striving for perfection.
Right, like always being on top of your game.
But Ruiz emphasizes that best is variable.
Okay.
Depends on your energy level,
Mhm.
your circumstances, your mood.
Oh, interesting.
It's about the effort, not about achieving some unattainable ideal.
There's a story about this in the book, right?
Oh yeah, the one with the Buddhist master.
Yes.
It's a classic.
So tell me that story.
So this guy asks a Buddhist master how long it'll take to transcend through meditation.
Okay.
And the master says 10 years.
10 years? Wow.
But then the guy's like, well, what if I meditate for 8 hours a day?
Oh, he wants to speed things up.
Yeah, he's thinking if I put in more effort.
I'll get there faster.
Exactly. But the master replies, then it will take 20 years.
What? That's the opposite of what he was expecting.
Right. It's a great lesson.
What's the lesson?
It's not about forcing things or striving so hard.
It's about being present.
Yeah.
Doing what you can with what you have.
Exactly. Finding that balance.
Not pushing yourself too hard,
Right.
but also not settling for less than you're capable of.
It's a delicate dance.
So it's not about beating yourself up.
Well-
It's about showing up authentically and giving it your all.
In each moment.
Yeah.
And when you do that consistently,
You always do your best.
you free yourself from self-judgment.
Because you know you did what you could. It's about releasing the need to compare yourself to others and just honoring your own path.
And that's where the magic happens.
Tell me more.
When you practice all 4 agreements together,
Okay.
you transform your life
From what to what?
from a dream of hell to a personal dream of heaven.
Okay, now that sounds amazing.
It is amazing.
But how do we actually make that transformation happen?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
It involves another Toltec concept.
Okay.
It's called the parasite.
The parasite. What's that?
It's a metaphor
Okay.
for all those limiting beliefs.
The ones we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
And the negative emotions that come with them.
They kind of take over our mind
Oh, I see.
and keep us trapped in suffering.
So it's like a parasite feeding off our negativity.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this parasite.
Well, according to the Toltecs, it has 3 parts: the judge, the victim, and the belief system.
Okay, break that down for me.
So the judge, that's that voice in your head.
The one that's always criticizing.
Yeah, telling you you're not good enough.
Ah, I know that voice.
And the victim,
Yeah.
that's the part of you that feels helpless.
Inadequate. Like you deserve to be punished.
Exactly.
And the belief system is all those lies we were talking about.
Yeah.
The rules and assumptions we've been domesticated to accept.
It's like a recipe for disaster.
It really is.
The judge, the victim, and the belief system
They create this vicious cycle.
of self-doubt and suffering.
So this parasite is basically what's holding us back from heaven on earth.
It's a major obstacle.
So how do we get rid of it?
Well, luckily, the Toltecs have some powerful solutions for that, too.
Oh, good. Tell me.
But we'll have to save those for part 2 of our deep dive.
You're killing me.
I know.
I can't wait to hear what those solutions are.
Stay tuned.
I will. I'm hooked.
It's going to be good.
I have a feeling.
We'll dive deep into how to overcome that inner parasite and start living a more fulfilling life.
Awesome. I can't wait.
See you then.
See you in part 2.
Welcome back. Ready to learn how to tackle that inner parasite we were talking about?
Oh, yeah. Give me those Toltec solutions.
Okay, well, the first one might sound kind of scary at first.
Oh, no. What is it?
It's facing your fears.
Facing my fears.
Yeah, one by one.
That sounds intense.
It can be, but it's so powerful.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more.
Every time you shy away from something that scares you,
Yeah.
you're giving that parasite more power.
Oh, interesting.
It feeds off your fear.
So how do I face my fears then?
You start small.
Small steps.
Exactly. Think about something that scares you, but it's not like completely terrifying.
Okay, so like public speaking.
Yeah, that's a common one.
I hate public speaking.
So maybe you start by sharing your ideas in a small group.
Okay, that's manageable.
Right. And each time you do it,
It gets a little easier,
you chip away at that fear.
and the parasite loses its grip.
Exactly.
It's like I'm training myself to be more courageous.
You got it. And as you become more courageous, that inner judge and victim,
They start to quiet down.
they lose their power over you.
Okay, so fear facing is solution number 1.
What do you think about that one?
I think I can handle that.
You got this. Now, solution number 2 is all about controlling your emotions.
Controlling my emotions, doesn't that mean suppressing them?
Not exactly. It's
No?
not about suppressing your feelings.
Okay.
It's more about recognizing when you're being triggered.
Like when something pushes my buttons.
Yeah. And then choosing how you respond.
So I still feel the emotions,
You feel them, you acknowledge them.
but I don't let them control me.
Exactly.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay. Imagine you're stuck in traffic.
Ugh, my least favorite thing.
I know, right?
So I'm stuck in traffic, and I start to feel that anger and frustration
Yeah, that's the parasite trying to take over.
because traffic is totally out of my control.
Exactly. So instead of letting those emotions run wild,
What do?
you take a deep breath. You acknowledge the feeling, I'm feeling angry right now.
But I don't have to let it ruin my day.
Right. You choose a different response.
Like what?
Maybe you put on some calming music.
Okay.
Or you focus on a positive thought.
So I'm breaking that automatic reaction and creating space for a more conscious response.
You got it.
It's like I'm taking back control of my inner world.
Exactly. You're not a slave to your emotions anymore.
I love that. Okay, so we've got fear-facing and controlling our emotions.
These are two big ones.
What's the third solution?
This one is the most radical of them all.
Okay, hit me with it.
It's called the initiation of the dead.
Whoa, that sounds intense. What does that even mean?
It's like a symbolic death,
A death.
not a literal death.
Okay, good.
It's more like you're dying to your old self.
The self that's controlled by the parasite.
Exactly. All those old limiting beliefs.
The ones that have been holding me back.
You let them go.
So it's like a shedding of the old spin.
It is. Imagine shedding all those layers of conditioning
All those shoulds and shouldn'ts.
that have been weighing you down.
That sounds incredibly liberating.
It is. But it can be a process.
How does it happen?
Sometimes it happens gradually.
Huh?
If consistent practice of the four agreements.
Okay, so it's like I'm slowly chipping away at the old self.
Exactly. But sometimes it can be more sudden.
Oh, really? Like a sudden awakening?
It can be. It might be triggered by a major life event
Okay.
or a deep spiritual experience.
So it can happen in different ways.
Yeah, there's no one right way.
But the end result is the same.
You're no longer living in the dream of the planet.
What's the dream of the planet?
It's the dream that's dictated by society's rules and expectations.
Oh, okay.
You're creating your own dream now.
My own dream? That sounds amazing.
It is. It's called the dream of the second attention.
The dream of the second attention? What's that?
It's about using your awareness to intentionally create a new dream for yourself.
So I'm choosing my own beliefs.
Beliefs that empower you. Beliefs that bring you joy.
It's like I'm the architect of my own reality.
You got it. You're shaping your reality with each thought, word, and action.
But how do I know which beliefs to choose?
That's where things get really interesting.
Tell me more.
Ruiz suggests a process called going into the desert.
Going into the desert? What do you mean?
It's a metaphor.
Okay.
It's a journey of self-discovery,
Oh, I saw.
a time for solitude and introspection.
So I'm facing my inner demons.
You could say that. You're confronting your deepest fears and limiting beliefs.
That sounds scary.
It can be challenging, but it's ultimately a journey of liberation.
It's like those old hero myths.
Exactly. The hero goes into the underworld
To face their fears.
and emerges transformed,
So I go into the desert, face my demons.
and you come out stronger.
Wow, I love that imagery.
It's a powerful process.
But this transformation, it's ongoing, right?
It is.
It's not like I reach some final destination and I'm done.
Nope. It's about consistently practicing the four agreements.
Making mistakes, learning, growing.
Exactly. It's a lifelong journey.
So it's about embracing the messiness of being human.
Absolutely. And trusting the process.
And I don't have to do it alone.
Right.
You're never alone.
There's that source of guidance we talked about.
Intent.
Right. Intent. Remind me what that is again?
It's a bit hard to define, but essentially,
Right.
it's the underlying force that connects all of life.
The life force? The universal consciousness?
You could say that it's the creative energy of the universe.
Wow. So I'm actually part of that.
You are. And you can tap into that intent
Wow.
through your own awareness.
So I'm not separate from this universal force.
Nope, you're connected to it.
And by aligning myself with intent,
You access its power and wisdom.
okay, I'm starting to get this.
It's a beautiful concept.
And one way to connect with intent is through gratitude, right?
Gratitude is huge.
I love that. It's about shifting my focus,
From what you lack,
what I have.
recognizing the abundance in your life.
So when I'm grateful,
You're open and receptive to the energy of intent.
exactly, it can flow through you more freely.
So it's not just about feeling grateful in my mind,
It's about embodying it,
in my actions, my relationships,
how you move through the world.
walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
You got it.
There's a prayer in the book that talks about this, right?
There is. It's a beautiful prayer.
Would you mind sharing it?
Not at all. It goes like this. Thank you, Creator of the universe, for the gift of life you have given me. Thank you for giving me everything that I have ever truly needed. Thank you for the opportunity to experience this beautiful body and this wonderful mind. Thank you for living inside me with all your love, with your pure and boundless spirit, with your warm and radiant light. Thank you for using my words, for using my eyes, for using my heart to share your love wherever I go. I love you just the way you are, and because I am your creation, I love myself just the way I am. Help me to keep the love and the peace in my heart, and to make that love a new way of life, that I may live in love the rest of my life. Amen.
Wow, that's so powerful.
It is, isn't it?
It's a reminder that we're all connected.
To each other, to something bigger than ourselves.
And it brings us back to that vision of heaven on earth.
What do you think that looks like?
To me, it's a world where love is the guiding principle, where we live in harmony with ourselves,
With each other.
and with all of creation.
It's a beautiful vision.
And it's possible.
It is. It starts with each of us
Making conscious choices.
aligning ourselves with intent.
And practicing the 4 agreements.
It's a journey, but it's so worth it.
Absolutely. Wow, we've really been through a lot, haven't we?
We have. The 4 agreements packs so much wisdom into such a small package.
It really does. It's incredible how much depth there is to these seemingly simple ideas.
And it all comes back to that core message of love and personal responsibility.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this deep dive, what do you think will stick with the listener?
One of the biggest takeaways I hope people get from this is
Yeah.
you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions.
Oh, that's a big one. I think a lot of us struggle with that, you know?
We do.
Like we identify so strongly with our thoughts and feelings.
Especially the negative ones.
Yeah, it's easy to get swept away by that negativity.
And it feels so real.
It does.
But the truth is,
Yeah.
you are the awareness that observes those thoughts and feelings.
Whoa, interesting.
You're not the thoughts themselves, you're the one witnessing them.
So that means I have a choice.
Exactly. You always have a choice.
Even when it feels like I don't.
Even then, you can choose how you respond.
It's for those thoughts and feelings.
That's where your power lies.
That's incredibly empowering.
It is. And the 4 agreements gives you the tools to make those choices.
Right.
To live with more integrity, authenticity, and love.
It's a roadmap to a better life.
I like that. A roadmap.
And it's not about being perfect, right?
Definitely not.
It's about the journey.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Continually applying these agreements, making mistakes, learning as you go.
Embracing the whole messy, beautiful process of being human.
That's what it's all about.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
Right, we have that connection to intent.
Exactly. That source of wisdom and guidance is always available to you.
It's comforting to know we're part of something bigger.
We are all interconnected. Your actions have a ripple effect.
Wow, that's a powerful thought.
It is. Your words, even your thoughts, they all have an impact on the world around you.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the 4 agreements,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a question to ponder.
Okay.
If heaven on earth really is possible, what's one small step you can take today to start creating it?
That's a great question.
Maybe think back to the 4 agreements.
Yeah.
Which one speaks to you most strongly right now?
Choose one, just one, and commit to practicing it today.
Even a small act of kindness.
Or being impeccable with your words.
Questioning an assumption, doing your best.
It can make a world of difference.
It's like those ripples in a pond.
Exactly. They spread outward.
Creating a positive impact on the world around you.
And remember, even the longest journey begins with a single step.
So take that step today, my friend.
And see where it leads you.
If you're ready to explore these ideas further,
Definitely check out the 4 agreements.
it's a book that can truly change your life.
One agreement at a time.
Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep creating the life you dream of.
See you on the next deep dive.
We'll be back with more deep dives into fascinating books and ideas.
Keep those minds expanding.
See you soon.